Hey everyone, this is Raislive. I got some Red Dead Redemption news. So a lot of people don't know the Xbox One has backwards compatibility now. It was announced at E3 that they would be supporting the Xbox One to be able to play Xbox 360 games sometime at the end of the year. And on the Xbox forums, all of its players gets to vote on what games that they want to carry over. And the number one game to carry over, can you guess, is Red Dead Redemption. Yes, that game beat out Fallout, Skyrim, Call of Duty, all those other games. Red Dead Redemption is the top of the list. And it's no surprise either because Red Dead Redemption was a very great game. And to me, personally, it's my favorite game from Rockstar. I really believe that it beat out Grand Theft Auto 4, as well as I still think it gave me a lot more fun than Grand Theft Auto 5. But nevertheless, that's the number one game that people want to see, and good for Xbox fans. That's really dope that they get to play that because if they do get that wish to come true, that's definitely a great game to relive on next gen hardware because a lot of people don't have their old systems anymore, and they probably just still have their games maybe, and being able to play that game and relive those moments, it's definitely gonna be great because that's a great game. So with that said, I put together my Red Dead Redemption 2, or whatever the sequel is going to be called, Wishlist. What did I think that they should bring over to the next game? First off, I feel like this game should be for current gen exclusively. I don't think they need to make it for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. I want them to just focus on current gen and make this game at its full potential without being held back by old hardware. So with that said, some basic things I would love to have would be, of course, a bigger world. The bigger the world, the better. The more ability for players to explore and to, just get out there will keep them interested and keep the game fresh and give the game longevity because they're always going to be seeing new things. You're not going to be seeing the same thing over and over and over again. So a bigger world would definitely be great, as well as some mini games. The mini games on Red Dead Redemption were pretty cool. I think they had it was like horseback, like just racing, poker, things in that nature. But I think they should bring something like more Western, games. Like for example, like rodeo, bull riding, horse riding, doing obstacles, not just racing. I think those would be really cool games, as well as trying to I don't know what they call it, but when you know got the little rope and you're trying to rope down a bull or a sheep or whatever in a record amount of time, that's another cool one too. Um, the next one on my list, I got it has to take place in the Wild West. I don't think they need to some people were saying that they want the game to have a story a little based on the Civil War. And I mean that sounds cool and interesting because you can definitely get a immersive depth, a really good story out of that. But the only problem with that is that the you know the Confederate States were, on the East Coast, and I don't really want it to go out there. I kind of wanted just to stay on the West, as well as I would love to see more Native American interaction with the game. I noticed a lot of bandits and rebellious people in that era of American history. I think having more Native Americans out there will be also gives the game a new experience because you don't know what to expect. Would they help you? Would they be willing to help you, or would they be willing to kill you because you're on their land? So I think that would be definitely dope. Also, I think they should bring in log cabins. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed from Fallout 4, they said that you're going to be able to find parts and scrap metals and stuff, break it down, and you'll be able to build a little safe house. I think that they should do that same type of concept for Red Dead Redemption. For this time, you actually build log cabins because that's pretty much what people lived in back in that era, and I think that would be really cool if they use that same concept from Fallout 4, as well as Skyrim had a little bit of it too, where you had to gather up the wood. You actually had to go out there and get it, bring it back, forge the metal, all that kind of stuff. Like I really hope it's like really good in detail. It's not necessarily you just build it, but I want it to be able to work and actually go out there, get your wood, find your get your nails, like things like that. Make everything from scratch. I think that would be really really awesome if they did that, because that just adds to the more customization part of it. It makes you really feel like you're a part of the game. It's like your world. It's like your house, your everything. So that'll definitely be dope. Also, like hunting with dogs, like I guess that would have to say like having a pet, because that also, like how in GTA 5, how you have, your pet, how Franklin has his Rottweiler Chomp. I think you should have like a pet in the new Red Dead Redemption game. If they did that, that'll definitely be dope. So yeah, when you have your pet, so like let's say if you're gonna go hunt like birds or whatever, you can have your dog go out there and retrieve those things back for you, or he can just be a scout, so you won't be out there by yourself. So you won't have bears and mountain lions sneaking up behind you. You have your pet out there to alert you in case a wild animal try to sneak up behind you. Just add another little aspect to the game. I think that would definitely be. I would appreciate that a lot. I think fans would like it too if they implemented that into the game, because that's a good aspect with hunting, is having your companion with you. Also, eating your wild game. I noticed in Red Dead Redemption, when you hunt, you got the pelt and everything, and you can sell it or whatever, but you didn't really eat the meat, and that's part of hunting. You don't hunt just to say you killed the animal. You hunt to eat, as well as you can, I guess you could use the bragging rights. For me personally, when I hunt, it's more about eating the food and just the experience of going out there and getting out there and hunting. So I think they should like bring in the fact that you can eat the wild game to like give you some health, boost some health or something like that. Like I think that would be definitely cool. Instead of like having like other random items that you use for like boosting your health, you can use like the wild game, your elk meat, your deer, the buffalo, bear meat. Use that, boost up your health or whatever. That would definitely be dope. What else I think you should bring in? We should bring in better clothes and outfits. I don't know if you guys remember, but on the Red Dead Redemption game, they were pretty much like made outfits ready for you. You had to like unlock them, and it was like a full set, so you didn't really have that much customization with it. So I think they should like bring in some type of customization from GTA 5, where you can you have your cowboy hat, you can have your different type of boots, different type of pants, jeans, different type of shirts. Just a little more customization with it. I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory. I think that it should also improve the wildlife, make it more realistic when you're hunting, a lot harder. You're having to stalk your hunts. You have to maybe even, do a little scouting a little bit instead of just going out there and find out, where the animals are going to be. They might change throughout the day. That'll definitely be dope, getting out there early, or just right before sunset, like that'll definitely be dope. Like having like the animals interact throughout the environment. Excuse me. If they had it like, they're sleeping and at a certain time of day, so you don't really know where they're gonna be at. Things like that. That'll definitely be dope. It making it easier to get killed. Like, it was kind of like when you get out there in the wild, it was kind of like easy. Well, it wasn't easy, but it was like you didn't really die from wildlife almost. I mean, the bears would kill you, the brown bears, but they had to hit you, and it was pretty much easy to like dodge their hits and stuff. I think it should be a lot harder, because bears are pretty fast, and you get a little close to them, they can do some damage. So I think they should, improve that area as far as like animals trying to attack you and sneaking up behind you, and just making sure that you always on your P's and Q's when you're out there in the wild. What else? Trapping, like a trapping and barter system implemented into the game. As for example, like, you can like set up little traps and stuff, get like fox fur that you can use to sell, the barter and things like that. I think like the economy within the game should be like, like I can tell that Rockstar is trying to like use an economy base. I think a lot of like developers are doing this now, so the game can have a reason to have microtransactions and DLCs and things in that area. So like having a game have like a barter system where it's like more of about trading and what you can bring to the table and what you can do for that person, instead of just, here's some money and, just exchange. Because that's kind of like boring. I don't want to just, here's some money, buy everything. What if I want to have it where somebody says, hey, you know what? Hey, you want this? Hey, can you go get me some elk meat? Because, I need to feed my family right now. Like, that'll be dope. And you have to go out there, go hunt, and then you got to bring it back. More missions where you have to like round up your cattle. I don't know if you guys remember from like around the end of the game, after John Martin did all his, I don't want to spoil it, but after he did everything he had to do around the end of the game, he started spending time with his family, with his son and everything, and they were like, gathering up cattle and things like that, and the cattle were kind of like drifting off, and you had to like make sure they stay together or you will lose one or whatever. I think they should have more missions like that, where it's like doing more doing more farm activities, because that's what people did back in the day, and I think they should just do that more, as well as like, instead of just having it, with the animals, drifting off and leaving, you can have like other animals trying to attack it. You got wolves, you got mountain lions coming in trying to like get your cattle or whatever. You got to like defend it off. Like, that'll be definitely cool, as well as the obvious. Adding fishing and swimming. You couldn't swim in Red Dead Redemption, so hopefully, the next one you can swim, and hopefully you can do a little bit of fishing too, because that's part of, getting out there and hunting and enjoying life, getting out there and getting that fish. So, yeah, that pretty much, my entire wish list. I'm sure there's more things, but those are just pretty much the big things that I feel like that will definitely, be game changers and people will really appreciate and enjoy the most. So what you guys think? Do you think my wish list was good? And if you have anything that you wanted to add, leave a comment. Let me know. Well, that wraps up everything for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a thumbs up. And if you're new around here, subscribe. And I see you guys on my next video. All right? Peace.